about to leave. Already packing, come with me. I'm not really.
Hello friends and enemies, welcome back to Happy For Now. It's me Isabel here with my mid-month wrap-up. So as always with my mid-month wrap-ups, we're going to go through all the books I've read so far this month in the order I've read them. I will have a section for books and a section for manga. I will be keeping this pretty brief and short. I will go over my rating and what I thought of the book. At the end of the month, when I do my April wrap-up, we will talk about my total stats for reading and like everything full picture, like genre breakdowns, etc. I'm trying to be better about that. But yeah, so we will do that at the end of the month. So this one, we're just gonna go through the 28 books I've read so far. 28. Yeah, okay, so before you freak out, 18 of those are manga. Because of the 30 and 30 challenge, I've been definitely trying my best to keep ahead of my manga reading. That way if anything happens and I fall behind a little bit, I'm not like 20 books behind. Instead I'll be like 2 or 3 if I miss a day or 2 here. So that's what's happening. I've read 10 books total. And it has been a full spectrum of books, let me tell you. I'll also let you know if anything was in a video that I posted already, and I will link to that video down there in that description box for you if you want to check it out. So first up, we have the first DNF of the month, maybe the only, I'm not sure. I DNF'd Monster by Jessica Gaziella. I was reading this for the Enemies to Lovers reading vlog where I did the Reading the Tropes series, and I was pretty engaged by the story. I'm gonna say that. I didn't hate it. But for me, the hero did something that I find irredeemable, which is he had to hit the heroine. Like, he had to punch her in the face to make the villain, the big bad, believe that they weren't in any way involved. This was pretty early on in the book still. So for me, it just kind of was unredeemable. I didn't love it. I don't know. It's one of those lines for me that either I'm fine with in the moment or I hate it and I DNF. When I was reading this one, I DNF'd it. I am excited to still try Jessica Gaziella and read some of her other books because I do think she's a really fun indie writer. And then let's go through all the books I read in order now. First up, we have Pleasures of a Dark Prince by Cressley Cole, which I gave 5 stars to. This is book number 8 in the Immortals After Dark series. That is in my Immortals After Dark vlogs that I've been doing where I full spoiler the books. But yeah, I gave this 5 stars. This one 100% is in a favorites pile. This one follows one of my favorite McGreeve brothers, Garrett and Lucia, who is a archer who, when she misses her shot, she feels immense pain. And she's a Valkyrie, and it's always the fun setup of like, oh my god, I can't believe it's a Valkyrie. And he's like, you know, they're both like, oh my god, I can't believe it's this. And this one's great because it's forced proximity in the Amazon on a boat. There's definitely a big miscommunication trope happening here as well, but for me it worked because you were in their heads enough in the book that you could see why Lucia wasn't communicating her issues. But yeah, I adored this one. I just love this book. This is definitely one of my favorites, especially in the first half, because like we're entering the second arc in our read along now. If you want to join us, it's not too late. You can still join the Discord. You can chat in the previous books months. We will respond and chat with you back, I promise. You know, we all just really love Immortals After Dark in this read along, or are reading it for the first time. And you can watch all my vlogs where I've been rereading them and talking full spoilers. Yeah, loved that book. Then I read 3 Simple Rules by Nikki Sloan. This is a workplace enemies to lovers romance. I really liked this. This is definitely more of an erotic romance. This involves a club in which the girls are blindfolded and sold, kind of. It's, you know, sex work happening, and she needs to make money to pay for a mistake she made on a client's project because she offers to pay for it in order not to jeopardize her promotion. So this is, anyways, I don't remember their names. The first book in her Blindfold Club series. And I really like these. I definitely think these are not for everyone. This book will not hit everyone's bells. A lot of my friends are very mixed on it, which I can see. You know, there is this workplace dynamic. You know, when he pays for her, she doesn't know because she's blindfolded that he is her boss, basically. And then there's some other stuff that happens with that situation towards the end of the book. But I felt like the way it was handled was well done. It was interesting. You know, there was enough tension there because of the enemies to lovers situation. you know, they kind of were work rivals, enemies situation, because he's kind of like not a bad boss, he's a like hard boss, if that makes sense. I thought the settings were very interesting. You just gotta suspend your disbelief in this one a little bit if you're gonna go into it, but I gave it 4 stars. I had a lot of fun. I thought it was really spicy. Total blast. Then I read Nobody's Baby But Mine by Susan Elizabeth Phillips, which I gave 5 stars to. I loved this book. I did not expect to love this book as much as I did. I think that this book is one of those ones that you read that's from like it's from 1997, and you are surprised at how well it works, because it just has the most banana pants setup. This is the Fated Mates episode, by the way. If you do end up reading it, I highly recommend listening. I thought it was a really fun chat that they had about it. But this one, I honestly was surprised, because this has all the things in a book that I don't normally like, to be honest with you. So one of those things is the fact that our heroine, Jane, so Jane is a physicist who wants to have a baby. She's single, she's like 34, and her neighbor's daughter decides to help her find someone to have that baby with, and Jane wants to have a baby with someone who's not as smart as her, so the child does not have to have as rough a childhood as she did. So my cat's playing. So that's what the bells are in the background, sorry. Yeah, so she doesn't have as rough of a childhood as her for being too smart. All kinds of things wrong with this setup. So she decides to hook up with this football player who said "ain't" on TV and sounded like a southern hillbilly to her. It's set in Chicago. And then he finds out, so they hook up twice. The second, we don't know which time got her pregnant, so it kind of, you feel less weird about it since they hooked up twice beforehand. When he finds out that she's pregnant, they go to Wisconsin and like get married secretly, and then he takes her to Western Carolina to be together during his like time off. Y'all, this book. Okay. Then we spent a lot of time on what's called Heartbreak Mountain with his grandma and his mom, and like there's a side plot about his parents' relationship and the two of them figuring it out. I did this for my reading. These last two, actually the next few, are all from my Enemies to Lovers reading blog. And this one was just so good. This is the pranks, the what I wanted out of You Deserve Each Other, to be honest with you. This is exactly what I wanted out of You Deserve Each Other and what I did not get from it. Because their distaste for each other makes sense. Like, they got married, so the baby wasn't born out of wedlock or whatever. Again, you do have to suspend your disbelief a little bit, but it makes sense. There's points here, there's reasoning. And they just push each other's buttons like nobody's business, and I was laughing out loud multiple times in this book. Because again, it made sense that they couldn't communicate because they had no basis to communicate. They didn't like get engaged after dating for a while. They got engaged because she got pregnant. It's so good. I love the grandma. Would 100% live with that grandma. She was amazing. And I had a blast. If you're at all curious about this, I definitely recommend checking it out. Next, the second to last book from this vlog is Careless Whispers by Cynthia Williams. This is a soap opera, just marathonable book, if there ever was one. And I just need to say that I need to go back and read the other books in this series. This is like drama city. So good. We are following a career woman who has prioritized her career and her family first, like her family's goals for her before herself, Elena. And then she meets Alex, and it ends up being that he accidentally gets her fired from her job as like the CEO because she just keeps missing things, and they start connecting outside of work. And it's just really sweet and caring, and it's all about like family misunderstandings and what is legacy and communicating through that. Cannot recommend this one enough either. And then the last one I read for that blog was Deal with the Devil by Kit Rocha, which I gave 3 stars to. I'm a little disappointed about it. I thought this was okay. This is a dystopian future novel situation. They are on a road trip together trying to fix the situation, and she doesn't know that he's like kind of has to kidnap her to like coerce her into doing this so that he can get what he needs. I just honestly, It's not that steamy, first of all. And I knew it wouldn't be as steamy as the Beyond series from Kit Rocha, but I, for some reason, expected a little more steam. I expected a little more setup. I expected more. I don't know. I don't know if it's because like everyone I know loved it and I just thought I would also love it, but I walked away going, it was fine. I probably won't continue the series, to be honest. It didn't hit for me in the same capacity as it did for everyone else. I definitely had a hard time like connecting with the characters overall and enjoying it. It had some Grumpy Sunshine vibes also in it, which is fun, but it just wasn't enough to carry me through. Then I read 15 Inches by Madison Faye, and this is a 30-some page, if that, dirty novella you get from her newsletter if you sign up. It's fine. It is exactly what it says. It is her workout teacher and a student, and she like walks in on him in the shower, and it's like, holy crap. And then she like makes a plan and comes back and they hook up. It's steamy. It is a smutty short novella. If you're curious about it, definitely go get it. It may not be up your alley though. Do you have to suspend your disbelief for it? I gave that like 3 stars because yeah, I don't know what else to rate it. It is what it is. Like it's not delivering on anything more or less than what it says it is. Next I read Worship by Jack Harbin, which I gave 4 stars to. This is a Kindle Unlimited novella. This is a friends to lovers second chance. They were high school lab partners in biology. They reconnect at the 10-year high school reunion, end up hooking up in the like swim showers. Very steamy. I didn't love the drama that brought them together in the beginning personally, but I loved everything else about it and how it unfolded. It was very, very cute, very sweet. Highly recommend. Good time all around. Then I finished A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmer. Bridget Kemmer. We're gonna go with that. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling-esque story with 3 POVs and kind of a love triangle happening. I really liked this. So this is a portal fantasy. She ends up going to another world called Everfall, something like that. This was fun. I'm mad at myself it took me so long to finish it. I gave it a solid 4. I've got A Heart So Fierce and Broken, the second one, checked out from the library, and I'm probably hopefully going to listen to that very soon here. But this was cute. I enjoyed it. Fun YA fantasy. I wish I would have read it faster is the only problem. I often feel like my YA fantasies, I have to devour them in like 2 days, or I just like, it takes me forever these days to read them. I'm not sure why, but it just seems to be the trend for me. Then we have Just One More by Jodie Slaughter. This is also on Kindle Unlimited if you're interested. This is my last Jodie Slaughter book. I'm officially caught up on her backlist. I'm a little sad about it. This one is a Valentine's Day novella. They meet on Valentine's Day in an Uber, and it's very cute. They end up getting dessert together and spending the weekend together. It is very sweet and smutty. It's that kind of perfect mix of the two, in my opinion, and you get to see them figure out how they want to be together. And it's just, at the end of the acknowledgement, she says she wanted to write a sweet, smutty book, and that is exactly what this is. I had a blast reading it, and I'm just sad I'm caught up now. Then the last book I read in the first half of this month is Dirty Love by Kenya Wright, which I gave 3 stars to. This is book 2 in The Lion and the Mouse. I know a lot of my friends loved this, and I think I loved the first one so much that I expected a lot more out of book 2, and one of my least favorite plot devices happened. So, spoiler. If you don't want the spoiler, go ahead and click ahead to the manga section, because I'm going to close this out with the spoiler. There'll be little markers down there so you can skip. I'm going to give you a second. Alright, spoiler time. The reason I gave this 3 stars is one of the plots that happens towards the end of this book around how Valentina got pregnant. And that plot involves the fact that Kaz's ex was storing his you-know-what in cups and used that to impregnate Valentina, his cousin. And we don't have confirmation of who the dad is yet, and there's someone else who could be the dad, because she then goes and hooks up with someone else when she finds this out to hopefully maybe one of the other ones would win out. But we don't know yet. And I'm just, I don't know, this had so many POVs in my opinion also that it was like overwhelming. Like I literally was just like, holy freaking crap, can we not jump to like 3 different POVs? I can do 2 or 3, but like once we hit 4, I'm just lost in the sauce, I feel like. Some of this could be attributed also to the fact that I was listening to it via audiobook, which I think can make 4 POVs very difficult. Yeah, didn't love it. I definitely hated that side plot. All right, it's time to talk about the mangas I've read for this month so far. So yeah, again, I'm doing 30 and 30. You will get a full dedicated manga log on like early April with everything I read. So I'm just gonna run through what I've read so far and tell you ratings versus giving full plot rundowns and that whole situation. I hope that's okay. I want to include it because I've read a lot, but I don't want to like overwhelm you with like a 40-minute mid-month. So first I read Komi Can't Communicate Volume 9. I gave that 4 stars. Then I read Love and Heart, which I gave 3 stars. This is looking to be a thriller romance situation. I'm very curious about it, but I haven't read enough to like wreck it or not wreck it. Then I read Lovesick Ellie, which I gave 4 stars. This one's really cute and I do think a lot of romance people would like it. This is a shoujo, which means it's for younger girl audiences, so it's on par with YA type of reading. And this one is about a girl who has a Twitter account where she tells like fake romance stories that she's having with this character, with this person she knows. That person sees it and makes them fake date. That's your setup. This is going to be coming to physical very, very soon also. Then I read 3 volumes of Something's Wrong with Us, started Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3 of this series, and I'm very excited to continue it. This one follows a Japanese sweets maker. Her mom witnessed / was the murderer possibly of this character's father, and he like points her out as a child as the one who killed his dad, and she goes to jail. Some stuff happens. They lose contact from being kids. Like when they were kids they were really good friends, and he runs into her as an adult and doesn't know it's her, supposedly, we think. So far it looks like he doesn't know. She knows it's him, and they end up getting married to cancel his other marriage he had like arranged. And it's very dramatic. This is like a thriller romance manga. This one is josei, which means it's adult women aimed, which means there is more nudity, sexual things happening. In general, more of that tension, if that makes sense. Then I read a Yuri manga, which means it's sapphic, which is A Tropical Fish Yearns for Snow Volume 2. This continued our like very sweet, again this is a shoujo shonen manga, so for YA audiences more. And this follows 2 girls who are both part of the aquarium club. One of them's a newcomer to the community, and they both like have crushes on each other, and it's just very cute and very sweet. I cannot wait to read Volume 3, which I just got from the library. I gave that 4 stars. I need to read the 3rd volume and I'll know how I feel about this series in full. Then I read Yona of the Dawn, Volume 29, which I gave 5 stars. Yona continues to be one of my favorite mangas. I also read a bunch of Volume 1s, which I did first impressions on. So I read Haikyuu Volume 1, My Hero Academia Volume 1, Tokyo Ghoul Volume 1, and Chainsaw Man Volume 1. I gave My Hero Academia like 3.5 stars. Haikyuu I gave, you can go watch that first impressions video, it's 6 minutes. It will tell you all about all those mangas. These are all these are all shonen or seinen, which are like boys manga, and they are definitely more on the graphic violence side. These are not romances, so don't go to pick them up and think they're gonna be romances. I also read Orange, the Omnibus, I don't have it up here, Volume 1, which has Volumes 1, 2, and 3 of Orange. This is a story, I'm giving it like 4.5 right now. This story follows a girl who gets a letter from her future self, like 10 years in the future, to change the past so that they don't lose one of their friends. She's a very meek character who doesn't have a lot of like self guidance. I don't know, like she doesn't like stand up for herself. She literally had the wrong size gym shoes and like wouldn't go request a different size because she felt bad to do that. And it's fine, but I was just like, how? But also like there are people like this. I get it. I'm much more likely to advocate for someone else than myself at times, so I kind of get it. But I also was like, oh my gosh, that sounds painful, so you should advocate for yourself. But yeah, it follows her and her friends trying to change the past from the future to not lose their friend like the next year or something. It's very interesting. I'm very curious to see where I am on it when I finish it up here. Then I read Blood on the Tracks volume 1 and 2, and I'm eagerly awaiting my shipment of mangas with the next few volumes so I can start reading it, because holy crap. So what I need to tell you about this is this needs like content warnings out the wazoo. This has like creepy, oh, this is like semi-horror, like horror light, thriller, something like that. So the mom is like really creepy and weirdly controlling of her son in his life. She doesn't want him to do certain things, etc. And we follow their relationship in this, and like content warning for a dead animal and implications that she maybe killed it in the first volume. But I literally finished volume 2 and I texted Tamika because she told me I needed to have all of them. Like she was like, you want to make sure you have a couple on hand. And I was like, holy crap, you were not joking. And I read it because I knew I had them coming in the mail here. And then I read, but yeah, I gave both of those like 4.5 stars. Oh, it's freaking creepy, y'all. Then I read My Androgynous Boyfriend volume 1, which I gave 4 stars to. This is also a josei manga, so it's aimed towards adult women, and it's about a couple who got together in high school, and he's androgynous, so he looks very like cute, and he's like famous on Instagram, and she thinks she's ugly, and it's very, very sweet, very adorable. If you want like a very like just cute, sweet, romancy manga, definitely check this one out for now. There's only 2 volumes right now, and I've got to read volume 2 very soon, but I definitely loved it. So those are all the books and mangas I've read so far in this half of the month. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Drop a spaceship emoji in the comments if you made it this far in the video. You will find links to all of the books down below in that description box, links to Amazon, and all the manga will also be linked to Right Stuff, where I order most of my manga from. So you can pick it up cheaper there. I also have links to anywhere you can be my friend on the internet, and I will see y'all in just a few days in my next video. Bye.
Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know.